My name is Darren Gerdes, and this is the Daily Brief. This first story broke a day or two ago. Russia may be trying to build 10,000 attack drones a year for use in Ukraine, but the subtitle here, and this is in Defense One, a purported catch of stolen Iranian documents also suggests that Moscow is paying a lot more than expected. In fact, it looks like Russia is being ripped off by Iran. Iran initially wanted to charge Moscow a licensing and component fee of $375,000 to assemble each Shahed 136 in Russia, which negotiated that figure down to $193,000 apiece for $6,000. The price is 6 times the previously estimated cost of the drone. Now, Anton Gurashenko also showed this yesterday. In 2022, a $175 billion contract was signed for 6,000 Shaheds, hardware and software. Russia paid in literal gold. Notice, Russia's not paying in rubles. Iran's not taking it in rubles. Russia paid in gold. It shipped a little over 2 tons of bullion. The purchase cost of the Shaheds from Iran is about $193 per unit when ordering 6,000 units, or $290,000 per unit when ordering 2,000 units. The production cost of the Shahed would actually be less than $50,000. It's stunning to see what they're actually doing. But Russia's pretty desperate to get its hands on these things, and it just makes you wonder what the deal was with North Korea. Okay, Russia is storming Avdiivka with very large forces. It's looking really bad for the defenders around Avdiivka, between the amount of men and material being thrown at them, the limited resources they actually have to defend. If you are the praying type, this is a good time to keep praying. Okay. Russian anti-war candidate Boris Nadezhdin banned from the election. Okay, well, we knew this was going to happen. We could see the writing on the wall. The Central Election Commission said it had found irregularities in over 9,000 of the more than 100,000 signatures of support submitted by Boris Nadezhdin. Election Commission Working Group claimed on Monday that it had found 15% of the supporters' signatures he had submitted to be invalid. He's appealing to the Supreme Court, but when you start, what he needed to do was be approved and then start getting momentum. But he got a lot of momentum of the anti-war type or anti-special military operation, because you're not allowed to say war type of voter, and it's actually posing quite a bit of threat. Ukraine's parliament extends martial law military mobilization by 90 days. There's really nothing to see here. If you see a headline like this, this is just a normal, every 90 days they do this just to make it legal to continue to extend martial law during this time of war. So yesterday, the U.S. Senate didn't get the threshold that they needed. They needed 60 votes. They only had 48 yays in order to pass the massive bill. And then it would have been a headache going over to the House, but at least they would have got something done. Here they go back and try to reconfigure this and see what they can adjust. It may or may not include anything for the southern border, but at least they're still working on the foreign policy aspect with Ukraine and Israel and perhaps Taiwan. All is not lost, but politics is a very rancorous process, and they're working through a process. I know I keep saying that. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I do know that they're going to keep working through it. In politics, you don't get credit for solving something until there's a big crisis. The bigger the crisis, the more credit you get for solving the problem. So they almost have to manufacture crisis in order to then solve it and see we solve the crisis. It's a bizarre way of doing things, but this is the way that the process works. Okay, thank you for your time. Thank you for the likes and the shares and the subscribes, and thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.